I like to see, or I, I I hear this word a lot, man, like bondage, and it's a word, man, where it would seem like a bondage would be something that is you'd be able to see, but it's something that kind of that goes unnoticed. For instance, Moses again when he's out in the desert, it's like God's basically like, yeah, you guys been put in bondage, and if you went to go tell the Jews that we're in bondage, not the Jews, but the Israelites, uh, they would have thought you was crazy. You were smoking peyote, man. You were on that bath salt, man. You must be schizophrenic. I mean, basically. So bondage. The thing about it is, it's not always obvious these things what they are. This thing is it's more like it's like a copy of something, or like a knockoff. You know what I'm saying? A knockoff is presented as, the original. Uh, you know, uh, and by the fact that you're not knowing any better, you are in mental bondage. The fact, like, listen, when you tell people, yeah, man, well, I've seen footage of them walking on the moon and they had cables on their back. Why do they have cables on their back bouncing up like in kung fu movies? How do them guys jump so high? Well, there's these invisible cable wires that it's camera tricks. And that's a bondage. That's a stumbling block put before people intentionally, because these bondages to lies, man, servants to corruption. It's like preaching liberty, all the while themselves being servants to corruption, and in heavy bondage, slaves, blind leading the blind. Their God, is this one-eyed triangle. But I mean, just you read the Ezekiel testimony, and he talks about just the one angel, and this thing is round about with eyes. You know what I'm saying? So don't get trapped up into that bondage neither. You know what I mean? It's the bondages that are obvious. You know what I mean? It's the unobvious bondages that get you all the while. You know what I'm saying? While you're it's always point to the mountain, strike the grindstone. And this one dude described the gremlins really great, man. He was talking about this spirit animal in his dream that would shapeshift, and it would turn into the things around. So whenever you went to look, you would have swore like, hey, didn't I just set my chicken over there? And then you go to look, and it moved by itself. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like the chicken. But it's well, he said a shapeshifter, but it is kind of like that out here. These things. You can. I mean, like even right now, they want us to be liberated to the UN. They want to free us from bondage into heavier bondage. And the fact that most people are in agreement with their own bondage goes to show you the mental bondage in which they are under. And these are more important bondages. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, look, these ideological indoctrination bondages, like, why do people argue about, they still argue evolution as if it's true and it's been proven. It's not. It's still a theory. All these things in life there's so much theory, and there's so much theory on top of theory that is taught as truth, but it's still just kind of up in the air. They're still proven. Every few years they prove everything they knew in the previous decades wasn't jack. You know what I'm saying? And what they got really going on that the public's unaware of is even bigger, and that's a bondage. If you think you know it all, you're under a bondage. That's like self-deception. That's hard, to get people. It's like, it's two kind of stubborns, man. There's a stubborn type of person that won't do wrong, but there's also another kind of stubborn that will not. All right, there's one kind of stubborn that won't compromise. There's another kind of stubborn that just will not learn. It has such a problem changing ideas and getting rid of misconceptions of the past, and then seeing things with the new clarity. Society's built to kind of plateau you and sculpt you to this certain plateau, and everyone would swear that plateau was the top of the mountain. You know what I mean? Metaphorically. It's just the lies that we've been taught by our fathers helps keep us in the bondage. And that's why I've been attacking certain subjects. It's not crucial for anyone's necessarily their salvation, I don't think. But I mean, God wouldn't have reminded us in the scripture itself if it wasn't important. Some people trying to downplay it. I'm not trying to overplay it, but please don't downplay it. You know what I'm saying? Just take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you disagree with me, well then look at the scripture. You know what I'm saying? Since you agree with that, you know what I'm saying? And just play that way. I mean, can't dispute with scripture. But it's just, what's his name, man? The dude who wrote Tom Sawyer. He's like, it's easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they're fooled at all. And I mean, that's so true. But just like I was saying, I got my, I'm out scanning, and I was trying to watch your blind side, and then here's other people. They're on the other side of the circle saying, yeah, this is what's up in your blind side too. So I mean, that's a good philosophy there. That intercede, intervene where you can, or if God presses on you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Why would you deny people their why would you deny people that? I mean, do you really know? When some people say they do things for whatever reason, how do you know if it's true or not? You know what I'm saying? Is it ever possible that you could have misjudged? You know what I'm saying? That you were using your own judgment? You know what I mean? On the situation? I mean, I do it. I've done it. I've looked at people and said, you don't look like what I think a person that says they do what you do should look like. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why was I judging someone, what they were going to say off what I think they should look like? Or, what I think a person should be that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you be careful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, be careful how you entertain strangers. You know what I'm saying? Ye may entertain angels unaware. And I'm not saying I'm an angel now, but I'm just saying, if I was, I have a lot of people take the bait, look at me like the scum of the earth, like a terrorist. You know what I'm saying? And what if these were angels sent to try your heart a little bit as a secret test? And the Bible shows that these things do happen. I mean, that's the thing. The angels on their way into Sodom and Gomorrah to talk to Lot are getting hooted and hollered at, and like basically they're ordered to pull down pants. Now, you know what I'm saying? Those angels, these people are totally wicked here. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what that would say. And these people obviously, well, I mean, I'm not sure if they knew they were angels. All from what it looks like, it just like, that's new blood. That's new blood. We need to put that down, man. You know what I mean? And that was standard operation procedure in those days. But the thing about it is the Bible. It's a lot of it is about remembering the things of old that we have forgotten, and then contemplate on them, why they were important. And it also reconfirms all these things. It's like, all right, when people don't operate, accountable, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're destined just to become more corrupt until it's just totally backwards, and you think that's normal. and that's being in a form of bondage. Like here, this is hardcore bondage. If you go to a church every day for all your life, devotee, and a very devout devotee, and you give your tithes, but yet that whole lifetime that you gave your money over to the church and they were supposed to feed you with enough information to keep you uh, with enough knowledge that can keep you accountable on your own without, even though your spiritual fathers are responsible for you if you go and put yourself in such a organized setup. Uh, and to an extent, it's like you don't want, if your spiritual father's responsible for the reason why on judgment you don't know certain things, God holds it kind of the person that's responsible. But I mean, this is just uh, these are those bondages. The fact that if you could sit there your whole life and have the best of the teachers teach you your whole life, and you paid them and these servants, but yet they didn't really serve what they were claiming, and then you end up on judgment falling short. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, I'm just saying, just in case, isn't it good to cover your tracks? I that's the reasons why you remembrance. If we would have remembered the commandments, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff would have, a lot of bad things would have never happened. But I guess it was written, so they shall come to pass. But it's still, you got to look at it and realize that there was a lot of dang shames that happened throughout history, and some of it, it's like, it's so bad. Even when people do evil, the evil that comes upon them is so evil that you would rather people come to know evil. That it's just like, man, this evil's that done unto evil, when will it ever end? You know what I'm saying? And you realize that it's just like, man, there needs to be some kind of renewal. And God says when we start to remember him and turn to him fully, that he will restore all things, man. Or at least things will transpire. I mean, if you're in that accordance with that, when no matter how things go out, man, you'll be in where you're supposed to be. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, man. You gotta let the free will operate. No one can force you to do anything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a change of heart to start to want to. Before you can even do it successfully. But it's just I don't know, man. It's just a process you got to keep working at. But yeah, these bondages, though, man, society bondages. The fact that, I mean, at one point the children will believe 2 + 2 = 5, and we will tell them 2 + 2 = 4, and they will swear to you, no, we gotta turn you into the to the fun camp PSY officer, because you say 2 + 2 = 4, but we were all taught that it was 5. Listen, that's bondages. So just because you're not in chains and shackles as of yet, go look at the legalese maritime admiralty law, and literally that you're commodified, which means you're in bondage. They say you are stocks in a foreign company, and it's just like the UN wants to liberate us from the corrupt American government to give us this tribunal, corporate council permanently appointed before everyone. You know what I'm saying? No representative government, different constitution, UN constitution. That's all legalese. The same dudes who wrote a maritime amnesty law and the law of the sea and all this legal mumbo jumbo are the same people who are responsible for the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? So that's being in bondage. The fact that you can't see these things for what they are sometimes. But like dude said, I guess these things are shapeshifters, man. And to certain people, where I see a big, huge, giant white snake, they just see a chicken. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I have blind spots as well, because I'm so busy paying attention to this stuff all the time. I guess, yeah, I guess I'm a likely candidate to get snuck in the back as well, dude. So I mean, it was just to make a point. So you know what I mean? is just to make a point. But, but at the same time, kind of literal.